Hello dear students, in this video I am going to discuss about uplink shared channels. Uplink shared channels, that is ULSCH, is the only transport channel that carries traffic data. The channel mapping around the uplink shared channel is as shown in this figure. Uplink shared channel processing includes the following parts. First one, channel encoding and modulation, frequency hopping, and multi-antenna transmission. First one, channel encoding and modulation for uplink shared channel. It uses 1/3 turbo encoder to encode transport block. Effective code rates other than 1/3 are achieved by either puncturing or repetition of the encoded bits depending on the transport block size, the modulation scheme, and the assigned radio resource. The encoded symbols are scrambled prior to modulation, which is due to randomize the interference. User equipment specific scrambling is applied. The uplink shared channel supports QPSK, 16 QM and 64 QM modulation scheme. The QPSK and 16 QM modulation scheme are mandatory, and support for the 64 QM modulation is optional and depends on the user equipment capability. Second one, frequency hopping. In LTE, only localized resource allocation is supported in the uplink due to its robustness to frequency offset compared to distributed resource allocation. LTE supports frequency hopping on the physical uplink shared channel, which provides additional frequency diversity gain in the uplink. Frequency hopping can also provide interference averaging when the system is not 100% loaded. In LTE, both intra-subframe and inter-subframe frequency hopping are supported, and it is shown in this figure. Intra-subframe frequency hopping and inter-subframe frequency hopping. In LTE, both intra-subframe and inter-subframe frequency hopping are supported. In inter-subframe hopping, the user equipment hops to another frequency allocation from one slot to another within the same subframe. In inter-subframe hopping, the frequency resource allocation changes from one subframe to another. Higher layers determines if the hopping is inter-subframe or intra and inter-subframe. The intra-subframe hopping provides higher frequency diversity gain, since this gain can be extracted over a single hybrid ARQ transmission which always spans only one subframe. In inter-subframe hopping, multiple HARQ transmission are needed in order to extract the frequency diversity gain. If the single bit frequency hopping FH field in the corresponding physical downlink control channel with DCI format 0 is set to 1, the user equipment shall perform physical uplink shared channel frequency hopping, otherwise no frequency hopping is performed. Next, no frequency hopping. If uplink frequency hopping is disabled, that is FH equals to 0, the set of physical resource blocks to be used for transmission is given by this equation, where NVRB is the virtual resource block index obtained from uplink scheduling grant. Next, frequency hopping. If FH equals to 1, there are two frequency hopping types. First one, type 1 hopping, and second one, type 2 hopping. It uses in type 1 hopping, it uses an explicit offset in the second slot determined by parameters in DCI format 0. Type 2 hopping. The set of physical resource blocks to be used for transmission is given by the scheduling grant together with a predefined hopping pattern. The user equipment first determines the allocated resource blocks after applying all the frequency hopping rules, and then the data is mapped onto these resources. Next, third one, multi-antenna transmission, and I will discuss this multi-antenna transmission in the next video. Thank you.